For our first story, we have my girlfriend, 27 female, is expecting her name on the deed to a house that I, 28 male, will be using my money to buy. I have been with my partner for over 3 years and we've said in the next 5 years it would be nice if we had enough for a deposit for a house. Last month I inherited a pretty substantial amount of money which will allow me to buy a house outright. I was talking about this with my partner and mentioned to her that I could do this, but that since I would be the one paying for the house that I would only be putting my name as a homeowner. I said I don't expect her to pay rent obviously, I'd only expect her to contribute towards utilities and groceries. She said I was being unfair since we were planning to buy a house together. I said that if she wants then I'm happy to wait until we both have the money then, or I'm happy to pay the down payment, then my GF can pay all of the mortgage until she matches the down payment. She said since I have the money now, it makes sense for us to get a house now since it would mean we're not paying rent anymore. I told her that's fine with me, but if we choose the option to buy sooner then I will be the sole homeowner. She again said I was being unfair since it should be both of us, but I just pointed out that I'm the one paying for the house. She just repeated that I was being unfair towards her and that we should both be on the deeds as homeowners. How would you handle this? TLDR, I recently inherited a large sum of money. I mentioned to me GF the possibility of buying a house with it. I said the house would be in my name only. She got annoyed at this, so I offered her multiple alternatives which she also turned down. She is saying I'm unfair for not putting her name on the deed. That's the end of our first post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, I'm an attorney and I can't tell you how many messes I've seen with couples who did this and then break up. This is a very, very bad idea for you. Put the house in your sole name. If you get married down the road it will likely make sense to put the house in both names, or maybe into a trust. But for now, your name only. Our second commenter says, do not buy a house with someone until you are married. If you buy a house, do it completely in your name or not at all. Do not do any sort of split because there is no way to force either of you to sell the house or get off the mortgage if you break up and one of you doesn't want to do those things. Our third commenter says, you're buying the house with your money, it's your house. Her name does not go on the deed. I bought my house and my husband's name isn't even on the deed because I paid for it with my money from the sale of the first house I owned before I ever met him. For our second story, we have my 29 male GF 27 female has a blackmail folder on her computer. She has one on me too. What should my next move be? So I've been with my girlfriend for about 6 months and we've had zero big issues. We have opposite personalities. I always try to be chill and she's more strict and more of a decision maker. She comes from money and works for her family corporation, and she's told me that it changed her brain chemistry because she has to work really hard to be taken seriously because of her age in relation to the business. She's someone that has to have control over every decision and has a way of getting her way, even with something as simple as deciding where to eat. This hasn't bothered me too much until I found out the extent of it. She has a laptop that she guards with her life. IDKY, but the other night when she got up to pee she didn't close it properly and I just jumped in to snoop while she was in the bathroom. I don't even know what I was looking for, but I found a blackmail folder of everyone from her business partners to friends and family. She had a folder on her uncle having a gay sexting session, had a folder on some random guy cheating on his wife. I don't even know how she got it. She had screenshots of her friends' old tweets. And I even found a folder on what I think were my initials, but couldn't open it because she got back. Again, I never had any issues with her and I was going to keep dating her, but now I'm genuinely worried. Maybe paranoid, I haven't done anything bad, but what if she took pictures of me without me knowing or something like that? I'd be so embarrassed. I don't know what to do genuinely. That's the end of our second post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, break up with her. She seems like a vengeful person and readily armed to destroy whoever betrays her. Just tell her in these 6 months you've really enjoyed the time you spent together, but you realized you're entirely different people. You respect and admire her work ethic, but you're not so organized about every single detail. You're carefree, chill, laid back, and prefer a lifestyle and partner who can match your personality. That you both do have opposite personalities, and in the long run you don't see this truly working out. Basically tell her something she can believe, lie if you have to, and run. Don't even bother deleting that folder or bringing it up. Leave as amicably as you can. Do not piss her off. She is vindictive. She prefers to ruin someone's life. This is not wife material unless you're in the mafia. Our second commenter says, I used to be friends with someone like this. She ruined my life on a whim. It's been years since we last spoke, and I still have yet to recover from all the damage she's done, socially or mentally. The last thing anyone needs in their lives is someone who thinks this sort of behavior is okay. Our third commenter says, people are saying some crazy shit here, but if you think about it, she's kinda sloppy. If I had a blackmail folder that could be used to incriminate me, first step would be to password protect it. Leaving her computer accidentally unlocked? I've had boring training videos on different companies teaching not to do this, and I can't fathom someone who claims to have had their brain chemistry altered, committing such an amateur mistake. Just dump her, OP. And I wouldn't think too much about trying to get copies or whatever, just distance yourself from that person and be done with it. She doesn't seem like someone who can provide you with a healthy relationship. For our last story, we have, wife of a friend, 30 female, kept asking me, 32 male, for sex. For context, I served in the military with my buddy back in 2013. Lost contact for a while until 2021, where we ran into each other at a restaurant. He gained a wife and a few children over the years. They were all there, and that was my first time meeting his wife. And it turned out, they lived 15 minutes away from where I live. So, of course we get to hang out. He and his wife bicker a lot, which is normal when you've lived with someone for a while. However, she becomes a bit too disrespectful at times, in my opinion, to him during those moments. For context, she joked that his penis was small. Things like that. Blatant lack of respect. And sometimes I see why. My friend isn't a very strong-willed man. He won't stand up to her when she disrespects him in front of company. He once disclosed depression and mental issues. He also disclosed that he contemplates suicide, however his children are the reason he does not, which scares me. His wife and I were on good terms. We had the type of relationship where we would talk shit to each other often, in a friendly way. Sent each other memes and funny videos we see on social media, etc. I never thought it was a problem. Never heard about it. I kept things professional, never did anything to cross that boundary. One day, I was over for their youngest child's first birthday party. I'm like an uncle figure to them. There were many people there, family, friends. A few of us were hanging in the kitchen, and others around the house. My buddy and his wife started bickering, and that's when she announced that they once argued about me, because he thought his wife and I had sex. Everyone heard it. He stayed silent. I felt awkward, so I left immediately. The next day I talked to both of them about it. She apologized, and I clarified with my buddy that nothing like that happened. Fast forward. I went out to a bar. His wife was out with her friends at a different place. She did a video call and saw that I was hanging out, and wanted to meet. So she came with 2 other friends. After a while she started flirting, touching, and asking, would you F me? Over and over. I said, no. She also asked, if we F, would you tell my husband? I said, yeah, but we will never F. Going home that night, I was very sad and upset about it all. I want to tell my friend, but I'm afraid he might hurt himself, and that it might break up the family. Update. I told my friend about this situation, and I also talked to my girl about it. They both handled it way better than a lot of you in the comments. Some of y'all need help. Anyway, according to him, she told him a lie. She told him we just so happened to meet at the bar. I told him the truth, that she called, as well as everything she said. I also showed him that I blocked her on social media, and he confirmed that she did not have my number. He said thanks for letting him know. I would upload a screenshot of the texts, but I don't know how. Hit my DM if you want the screenshots. That's the end of our last post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, if he's your buddy, you need to stop enabling any of her behavior towards you immediately. You need to shut this shit down. No more messaging and meme sending. Remove yourself from any part of being in the backfiring line. And tell your buddy he deserves better and help get him some proper support. Our second commenter says, why on earth are you on good terms with the twat who comes on to you and disrespects and insults your friend? You either need to tell him or get out of their lives. He really should be told. That's information he needs to make decisions about his life. Our third commenter says, Tell him before she makes up a story. That's all for today. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.